Hello, everyone! Just like every summer, your favorite series takes a closer look at one of the most exciting tournaments of the year for all poker fans, the WSOP $10,000 Six Max. And this 2024 edition is off to the best possible start for Pierre Calamusa, who managed to double his stack almost immediately after arriving at the table. After 4 hours of play on day one, he finds himself sitting behind a very comfortable stack of over 230 blinds. Keep up the pressure, Pierre.
Somebody pick it up already.
Ace queen in the small blind.
Yeah.
I can 3-bet, I can call.
We're one short again.
I call.
I call.
Okay. A 3-way hand again. Live poker is really specific. It's more rare to have 3-way, 4-way pots online.
Check.
My hand is too strong to fold. The big blind can have a lot of nines, so I'm going to have to protect my range by calling. I would have called with all my nines. This allows me to call with hands like ace queen too.
$4,500.
That was a bit predictable. This player is aggressive. It's not a huge sample of hands though, but I'm not going to be able to continue with ace queen here. Well played, well played. But the trend is confirmed. He might be a player who seems to take a lot of spots.
How many levels do we play?
I will.
10 today, I think.
10?
Yeah.
It's been the same thing.
They just announced a break.
Yeah.
Taylor, they just.
No, she already started. Yeah.
15-minute break. Just didn't know.
Ça va, mon beau?
Bah ouais, tranquille. Hein. La dernière fois que j'ai joué ce tournoi, c'est toi qui me roulais dessus.
Ah ouais. Il y a 2 ans?
Il y a 5 ans.
Ah ouais?
Ouais. Je me rappelle pas, c'était il y a longtemps.
Non, c'est il y a longtemps. Frère.
Ça va la paternité ce
Bah
soir?
ouais, tranquille, toi aussi. Bientôt, hein.
Ouais, bientôt, bientôt.
Tu vas pisser?
Ouais, on y va
Moi
ensemble.
aussi, allez.
Si,
C'est
allez.
parti. On va se détendre. Ah, moi, Jojo. I doubled up 5th hand.
Regarde tes stats.
Yeah. You? This time a fucking hero called and was right.
What?
A hero called and was right for once. Feeling good? Let's go.
We're back still with a comfortable stack. Blinds 300, 600. The pots are going to start getting bigger. I have to continue to be at my best. Finally a premium hand at this table. pair of queens. Alright, I'm going to make a big re-raise here. I absolutely need to play this hand heads up. It plays very, very, very poorly three ways.
We win.
Okay, if Rui calls, I'm going to have a fairly precise idea about his range. Jack 10 suited, King Jack suited, King Queen suited, King 10 suited, and all the small pocket pairs. He calls. I still have the advantage of having a very good idea about his range of hands, and he's going to have a more vague idea about mine. 10-3 deuce. We're 200 big blinds deep. I don't think I can range c-bet, that's for sure, but a pair of queens is going to be part of the hands I'm going to bet, obviously. I can't make it too big either. I still have this strategy where I bet a bit less on boards with a possible flush draw. 4,000 is really good. He has a lot of hands that are going to be in a tough spot. He has very few tens. But he's going to have a lot of middle pocket pairs, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, against which I have a lot of value to extract. He calls. Give me a 2 of clubs. Well, it's an overcard, but it's not that scary.
Thank you.
Plus it's the King of Hearts, so it's impossible for him to have a hand like King Queen of Hearts. From time to time, he's going to have the King plus diamonds, but that's about it. I'm not going to bet now because I don't have value anymore against pocket 5s, pocket 6s. He's just going to fold those hands now if I bet. I'm going to prefer to bet on the river, on favorable rivers. There's Fabrizio Gonzalez, 6th sense, online, Uruguayan player I believe, arriving at seat 3. The table's getting tougher though. He checks, that was pretty predictable. River is a 4, it doesn't change much. Ace 5 of diamonds, Ace 5 of hearts. He would potentially have been more aggressive. He's going to have a bluff catcher now with Ace 4 suited. He still has his Jack 10 suited type of hands, 9-9 type of hands that could hero call. Alright, 20,000 is perfect. Come on, call. Just call me, please. Come on, you have pocket 8s here. Come on, tell yourself I'm bluffing with a hand like Ace 9 of spades or something like that. Do something. Come on, he has them. You have them in your hand. Come on, come on. Push them to the middle. You have a big stack. 20,000 is nothing for you. Give them to Daddy. Give them to Daddy. I feel like he's pretty suspicious though. I think that he really has a weak hand and that he doesn't want to fold. Oh, yeah. I think he's going to fold. Ugh! Good fold, Rui. I'm going to keep this information in mind, that he seems to want to be a calling station for the next hands.
I bet ace 5, come on. I bet ace
I'm going to try to avoid bluffing him in a big pot. He seems a bit annoyed right now.
So tense. You will see it on TV. You had the 2 8s. Set.
Let's go. Rui raised. I'm in the hijack with Jack 10 suited. I'm going to 3-bet this hand at a very high frequency.
Raise.
I don't particularly want to bluff a profile like Rui, but here Jack 10 suited is part of the number 1 hands we want to use as a bluff. I think he's always going to fold ace 10, ace jack offsuit with these positions, so it's not bad. Three-bet pot. I've got this down. I've spent quite a few hours on it. Here I'm going to range bet 25% of the pot.
Drink.
And with my flush draw, I'm likely going to be very aggressive on the turn as well. Okay, he calls. Come on, a spade, a spade, a spade, a spade, a spade. Yes. Flush. This might be the big hand I need at this moment. Well, here, same. I know exactly what the plan is on the turn. It's to bet between 2/3 and 90% of the pot, and not bigger, on a card that completes the flush. Alright, 8,000, that's pretty good, 2/3 of the pot. He calls. Here I'm going to bet all the rivers, even a spade. The question is on this jack of clubs. I am going to use two sizings, an overbet with my hands like ace-5 of spades, and a more neutral sizing, 2/3 of the pot, 20,000, with my sets, queen-jack, but also this flush, jack-10 of spades, which blocks Rui's strongest bluff catchers. Here, he can't really have queen-jack suited anymore. He can't have a set of jacks, so this flush is good for 2/3 of the pot, 20,000. Alright, now it's poker face time, and hoping he calls. It's not easy because I block his strongest bluff catchers, but he might pump himself up with, obviously, a queen, but he might convince himself with weaker hands, such as 5-5 with a spade, for example, to call or to raise. Come on, Rui, do something here. Come on. I have obvious bluffs here. Ace-10 with the ace of spades or the 10 of spades. Ace-5 of clubs, nothing at all. Come on. Come on, call so I can show you my jack of spades here. This is a very important pot if I win it. Ah, perfect. He calls. Yes! This pot is important from an accounting standpoint, but also from a psychological standpoint. I'm in position, and that's 2 big pots in a row that I win against Rui. I'm gonna have to build on this momentum to press on the gas pedal a bit more and to try to push him down even further.
Yeah.
Alright, blind versus blind. Round 3, Rui, and queen 2 off. A hand mixed between raising and calling. I have a somewhat particular strategy that's personal to me, which was determined with Emilian, the person I've been working with for a little over a year now. I raise very big 6, 7, 8, 9x sometimes, and queen 2 off is a very good bluff. Okay, well now the pot is huge. Rui's range is once again very defined. I'm going to proceed with quite a bit of caution here. Rui's range is extremely strong to have called such a huge raise. Well, here, it's easy. If he checks, I bet, and if he bets, I fold. And I have an easy fold. Alright, we've been playing for a few hours now. I need to get the blood flowing a bit, to stretch my legs, to observe from a slightly different angle, a bit higher. I refocus a bit this way too. I like my attitude. I like the intensity I'm bringing today.
I know that Marseille already was there. I don't know how much.
And it's still young. It's like 24 or something.
Yeah, it's not that young.
Crazy good.
Rui raises. I have king jack on the button. I'm not going to 3-bet this hand. I want to keep his king 9 off, jack 9 off, which he's going to have ultra frequently on the cutoff. Nice top pair with a king kicker. Roy bets. This is a spot where he should check range, cut off against button against big blind. And I find myself once again playing a pot quite uncomfortably. One of those spots that doesn't exist in the theoretical world that I've studied so much. The turn is a 4 of clubs, which is actually pretty good. The big blind should have folded almost all his fours on the flop. He can't have a 4 plus hearts. Potentially something like ace 4 of diamonds, but that's really not many combinations. We should also normally check a ton on the turn. He decides to bet. 5,000 into 10,000. My hand is obviously too strong to fold. He could still have plenty of draws. 6-5 suited, ace deuce, ace 5, hearts.
The action is settled.
River 5 of clubs. That's good. Can he value cut himself if he bets? I'd really like to see him check here, Rui. Or bet, not with a big sizing that would put me in a very tough spot. Come on, check or bet small. Make life easy for me, please. It's gonna be hard for me to fold if he bets. I have my best possible hand almost. A hand that doesn't block any bluffs, and that blocks his value king, king, ace, jack. Okay, 12,000. Well, I'm going to pay the amount. What do you have? Oh, 5-4 suited. Oh. It's crazy that players who play such high stakes can be so far away from the theory. Alright, Fabrizio raises. Ace 9 of clubs on the cutoff, that's a pure 3 bet. This metric of making better hands fold still, and of having post-flop playability while blocking my opponent's very strong hands. He snap calls.
Head up.
Not very good news, he may still have ace queen, ace jack. Okay. Spot that I've got down. Jack high, range C bet for a small sizing. I've studied these boards a lot. The reason is that I can have ace jack offsuit, almost pure, and he can't have it himself. He would have folded pre-flop presumably, so... There you go, perfect. A well-executed plan, and that's what I like. Ace-king suited, a monster.
Raise.
I wouldn't mind a 3-bet here.
Raise.
3-bet standard sizing, a bit small. I have a pure 4-bet with my hand to try to build the pot. No need to go very big here. 10,000 is pretty good, especially since I have ace-king suited. It gives him a tough decision if he has ace-10, ace-jack.
Raise.
It also allows him to call with small ace-x suited that he might have 3-bet with. He calls pretty quickly. Okay, let's see the flop. 6-8-4. Very good flop for me. He can almost never have sets. I think he's almost never re-raising pre-flop with pocket sixes, pocket eights, or pocket fours with these positions. He almost never has top pair here. We're going to start with a range bet for a very small sizing to force him to continue with ace-queen and to put him in a very tough spot with ace-jack, without clubs, for example. He calls pretty quickly. Turn is a 10, that's really not an incredible card. There's really no point in me betting here anymore. I would only get called by better hands, and I would make hand like ace-queen fold at this point. I'm going to check and decide then if he bets. Since this is a 4-bet pot against a player who hasn't been that active, I'm leaning more toward the fold. I'm still going to take my time. Ace-queen, he would have to be bluffing with ace-queen. I don't see him bluffing with ace-queen here at all. He could still have pocket tens, pocket jacks, pocket queens. And against those hands, I'm really not good. Yeah, given the betting sequence here, I think I'm almost never ahead. Jack, jack, queen, queen, 10, 10. If he has ace jack, it's with a flush draw. I'm not in great shape. Alright, fold. Well played if you were bluffing. As Davidi says, there's no shame in being a coward.
Ça va? La forme? Il veut, Mignon?
Non, il a buzzé.
Il y a quoi?
Il a buzzé 54.
Il est rentré chez lui?
Non, il est rentré à la villa.
Ah, ok. Il va pas jouer le dîner?
Je sais pas. Tu peux le laisser avec quelle heure?
Attends, je pense.
Always nice to run into people you work with.
Raise.
The Baru, an online grinder who plays slightly smaller games than Emilian and I, but who's a complete degenerate.
J'ai senti le spot où j'allais bust à la troisième main, quoi. En plus, on avait pris 10 000 chacun, genre pendant les premiers 10 minutes. Donc on est 70K chacun.
T'as tanké les là?
Hein?
Tanké les là?
J'ai tanké 10 minutes, mec. J'ai une Asiate de 30 ans, frère. 5 minutes.
I can't get over this hand. I have to say, it's not common to play pots worth 700 big blinds.
Raise.
Mais je la sentais un petit peu à fleur de peau, tu vois.
J'ai vu, t'avais des gros coups là.
Ouais. J'avais la spot pique. 8-6-3, 8-6-4. Il n'a jamais de brelan. Je bet range, 10%.
Ouais.
Il a call. Il était un des mecs 10 qui a mis un deuxième flush draw et check, il a fait 2 tirages après. Dans un pot fort bet, il faut qu'il bluffe dame, quoi.
Il ne le fera jamais. Je pense qu'il est genre 2 dames, tu vois.
Ouais, c'est ça.
Genre 2 dames. 2 valets.
Ouais, 2 valets ou 2 10 qui a fait brelan.
Je pense qu'il y a pas mal ta table de valet.
Je sais.
Le siège 3 quoi.
Ah ouais, siège 4, c'est Rue Ferreira.
Par contre, vraiment, faut qu'ils arrêtent avec leurs 5 et 4 sur.
Ah ouais, il a barré dans le faveur.
Toujours pareil. Sur ma vie, c'est toujours pareil quand ils barrent, tu sais, genre sur les.
Ouais, sur les boards où les mecs. Mais bon, ils m'ont fait cadeau, hein. Ils m'ont fait genre demi-pote, demi-pote.
T'avais le roi valet suite?
Ah, valet off, mais le point de cut-off, je suis le bouton.
Ouais.
Valet 4 bleu, avec 2 quarts.
En vrai, t'es limite top de range.
Ouais, mais 3, ouais, je réussis pas à gagner, il a dit.
En vrai, je me demande, mais en vrai, c'est super intéressant cet achat parce que je pense que contre ces genres de mecs, il fallait les couilles.
Hein?
Je pense que contre ces genres de mecs, il fallait les couilles de raise no top de range, tu vois. Mais why not? Mais en vrai, elle est intéressante. Vas-y, concentre-toi.
Ouais, franchement, je veux bien code de qu'on vous demande Emilien. J'ai quand même As Valet off qui est là aussi tout le temps, quoi.
Allez, 2-2, 2-4.
Ouais. Du coup, Roi Valet, c'est pas non plus la meilleure main qu'on ait, quoi.
Je pense qu'il open genre. Là, il open Valet 9. Tu vois.
Ah, ça, ouais.
Ah oui.
1500.
Raise.
Mais il va en garder pas mal pour check call, je pense, quand même. Genre Valet 9, ça me semble qu'il peut dans 2 jours se Valet 4 avec 2 tiers.
5 et 4.
Ouais.
Pas backdoor flush.
Mais t'as compris plus à bet 5 et 4, enfin c'est de la merde,
Ouais,
hein.
non, mais oui, que
parce que
Valet-
tu vas faire folie roi 10 sur scène chez la Big Bang que Valet 9 ou pas mon bonne protection.
Ouais, je suis d'accord.
Le problème. Hein?
Il y a le break à quelle heure?
En fait, y a pas de break.
C'est pas de break?
Ouais, je te jure. On joue 10 levels.
T'as pas mangé?
Non,
Tu veux un truc?
non, t'inquiète, c'est cool. Merci.
King, queen. Raise.
Raise.
I get called by the button. We're playing almost 200 big blinds each here.
Head up.
Four, 4, 8, check range. Check back. Okay, 7 on the turn. No point in betting with king queen. I don't make anything better fold really, and I don't get called by worse hands.
$2,700.
2/3 pot, standard. I have a relatively easy defense here with king queen. He's still gonna have, if he's playing GTO, hands as weak as Jack 10 offsuit here that he has started bluffing with. River 8, that's a good card. If I was ahead, I'm still ahead, and he's never gonna bluff with ace high. Now the question is, what are my reads if he ever bets? What's my read on the dynamics? What does he think about my range? What does he think about my tendencies? I need to start thinking about this right now. What does he think of me? What does he think of me?
12,500.
Okay, overbet. That's going to make my decision a bit easier. Against an overbet, I'm going to be able to be more selective about the hands I call with. What does he have for value? Something like king 8 suited, queen 8 suited. He's going to 3-bet some of those. Ace 7, that's for sure. Ace 7 suited, Okay, what could he be bluffing with now? Jack 10 offsuit, Queen Jack offsuit. Yeah, against an overbet, I'm going to probably fold. I'm doing my special move again.
You show for the camera? I fold.
Camera?
Yes.
What does he have? Yes. Phew, he had the 7.
Alright.
What is your fold job?
Roi dame.
Huh?
Roi dame.
King queen.
It's really not bad to show my cards, they show me theirs. I think I get more information from showing than they get from me. The thin value he flats with pretty weak suited connectors in position. That's quite a lot of things that I will be able to exploit later. pocket nines, mixed between 3-betting and calling. I'd rather call with these positions.
$6,500.
I'm going to have a pretty easy decision in this hand. If Fabrizio folds, I'm going to call. If Fabrizio goes all in, I'm going to fold. And if Fabrizio calls, I'm going to call as well. Easy so far, even if it's not the most comfortable situation either, to play out of position 150 big blinds deep with nines. Two, 4, 5. Good board for my hand, for my range 2. I'm going to have all the pure sets, and he won't have any, but I'll still need to proceed with caution.
$7,000.
Okay, he bets about 45% of the pot. That's well played on his part. He should be polarized here. Pocket nines, it's a situation I've seen before theoretically. I'm going to call with nines and start raising with jacks and better for value. The turn is an ace. He's often going to have the 1 pocket tens, pocket jacks, pocket queens, pocket kings. If he bets, I'm just going to fold. Check. Well, now if I had pocket threes, I would have made a straight with 8-7 suited too, and I still have ace-queen offsuit in a pure way in my range. And nines in the end, but yeah, I need to turn this pair into a bluff actually, to try to get kings, queens, jacks, tens to fold. $20,000 is going to be a good sizing here to turn this 9-9 into a bluff. He looks really annoyed. Come on, show me.
You sure?
Yes, pair of jacks. Ha ha ha.
Good bluff.
Thank you.
I got you. I'm really happy with my read there. I'm really happy with my bluff. I had to think it through. I couldn't take the easy way out and check, hoping to win against a bluff there. And that should hit his morale a bit here. Nine, 8 suited under the gun. I raise.
$5,500.
55.
I definitely think one of the two of us won't make it through the day. If it folds to me, I think I'm going to use this hand to 4-bet. It has a good playability, and most importantly, it won't block the weaker hands he might have. Ace-Jack, Ace-10 offsuit, King, Queen offsuit. I think he's going to abuse a bit his light 3-bets with these positions, and none of these hands has a strong advantage though. And especially when he calls in and I flop big, I might be able to win a big pot. I still need to be careful though. I'm not exactly an expert in 4-bet pots, 130 blinds deep. And given the dynamics, this seems like the best play here to me.
Raise.
All right. Different color.
Different color.
What's also good is that I think we're so deep that even if he has Ace-King offsuit, he's gonna have to just call me and let me realize my equity. Okay, he calls. Whew, amazing! 2 pair. The only hand I'm really afraid of now is a set of 10s. He could still have a slow played aces. Pocket jacks, pocket queens is also likely. Aces or kings from time to time.
12,000.
Well, here, I don't have any other choice anyway. There's already 44,000 in the middle, and my hand is strong right now, but extremely vulnerable on the turns. All-in seems to me to be the solution with this hand. And I would mix with hands like Ace-Jack, with the Ace of Spades, stuff like that.
All in.
All in.
Alright, now I need you to tank call. Oh, snap fold. Well, the only hand that makes sense for him here is Ace-Queen.
Now I have a good hand.
And we continue accumulating chips, that's nice.
If you just called, I was gonna bluff it off a lot.
Yeah, but my hand has to put the money in now.
Interesting.
What is that? Ace 5, no backdoor something.
Yeah, it's green.
What's going on?
Ace-Queen from the big blind.
I had what? It's green.
Mixed between 3-betting and calling.
I think low equity.
Ace-King 3. Check. Here he should... Okay, so he's not a good player. Here he should check or bet big. And here he chose to range bet small. I've studied a lot the defense against these strategies that aren't adequate, and it's to check raise a ton. And Ace-Queen is the first value hand I'm going to use. It's a mistake I could have made a few years ago to simply check call this hand, telling myself that I didn't have the nuts, but it's a mistake I could have also made in the hijack's position a few years ago to range c-bet small on this board.
Hey, buddy. How are you, man? Yeah, thanks.
And the arrival of AI has revolutionized a bit everything. You can immediately tell which players have studied the theory and which haven't, and huge gaps are forming as a result. Ah, he looks really annoyed. He calls. need a clean turn here. 9 of hearts, that's good. Obviously, I'm going to continue my aggression here. In theory, I should bet big, but I prefer to make it 10,000. I already feel like against a player who doesn't know the theory, he's already going to fold aces for a sizing as small as mine. So if I was betting big, I'd just be isolating myself against better hands. Yeah, he folds right away. I would have really done everything to try to get more from him, but it didn't work this time. But I'm pretty happy to have used a smaller sizing than the theory suggests to try to make him call safely on an ace or a king on the turn, and to give him a tougher decision in a bigger pot on the river.
We're almost relieved that the episode is coming to an end, Pierre, because in 2 hours of heavily intense play, you haven't given us a moment's rest. Between big hands that paid off perfectly and thrilling duels against Rui Ferreira, one of the best Portuguese players at this time, you pulled off one brilliant move after another. And your stack bears witness to this. With 180,000 chips, or 229 blinds, you're heading into the second half of this day in ideal conditions. We'll be there with you very soon in the next episode of Inside the Mind of a Pro.